Madam President.
The senator from Montana.
Thank you, Madam President. 86 to 11. 86 to 11. We've been fighting for this for decades. For decades. And I will tell you that the last few days have not been particularly easy for me, and they've been even more difficult for the veterans around this nation who thought they had a benefit on June 16th, and then found out that it wasn't there. But today, the Senate took the historic step of delivering health care and benefits to all areas of veterans by the passage of the Sergeant First Class Heath Robinson honoring our promise to address Comprehensive Toxic Act, otherwise known as the PACT Act. For hundreds of thousands of veterans of all generations, for our all-volunteer military, this bill puts us on a path to finally paying the cost of war. Look, I take my cues from the veterans as chairman of the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee. When I first introduced this bill last year, we set out with a clear goal: to right the wrongs of decades of inaction and failure by us, the United States government, to provide all areas of toxic exposed veterans the VA care and benefits that they have earned. We knew the only way to do this was to put forth a comprehensive package that took care of our past, present, and future veterans. I am grateful, and I mean this. This wouldn't have happened without my good friends, Ranking Member Jerry Moran, John Bozeman, and Martin Heinrich. We all worked together to make sure that this toxic exposure package came together so we could have the vote we had today, with help from both sides of the aisle. I am thankful for the leadership of President Joe Biden, who addressed this issue in his State of the Union speech and got the ball rolling. To VA Secretary Dennis McDonough for his leadership as Secretary of the VA, and House Veterans Affairs Committee Chairman Mark Takano, and so many others that I can't even list them all, so I'm not going to start down this line. This bill is legislation we envision when we set out to right wrongs of our toxic exposed veterans. The PACT Act recognizes that responsibility, and it recognizes the cost of war. Veteran service organizations across this country and the veterans they represent and the advocates have understood this for a long time. That is why not only have they been incredible partners in this, but that is why this has been the #1 issue for veteran service organizations in this country, the #1 issue. And in fact, so important to them, and the folks have pretty much left here, the chamber, but so important to them, they were willing to sleep on the steps of the Capitol for the last 5 days. Now, you might not think that's a big deal, but it isn't exactly nice in Washington, D.C. the 1st of August or the end of July. And last night, we had one heck of a thunderstorm. Rolled me right out of bed. Those folks were out there. They were making their names be heard. They were making the policies be heard that they fought for. And I'm just going to say one more thing. If you take a look at our military, the finest in the world, there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that, and that reason is these folks are willing to get the job done, and they did. And that's why we got a vote of 86 to 11. That's why folks said enough is enough. We're not doing any more games. We're going to vote on this bill. That's what the folks sent us here to Washington, D.C. to do, and we did it. And I couldn't be prouder of the United States Senate, but I'm also more proud of the folks who serve this country in the military and their families. When I got on this floor earlier today and said, the longer we delay, the longer we're going to deny health care for our veterans, and veterans are going to continue to be in crisis, and they're going to continue to die. Now we've passed a bill that rights that wrong, that's going to help these veterans across the board, and I think we're going to see improvement in all sorts of things. Not only the diseases caused by toxic exposure, but the mental health that's also associated with service to this country. We put politics aside. We delivered results through action, through real action. And we said, thank you to the men and women who have served in our military. Thank you for what you've done for this country. Thank you for protecting our freedoms. Thank you for keeping us safe. And most importantly, we told them, you held up your end of the bargain, we held up ours. I yield the floor.